Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing great. So, uh, in my last video, children, I explained you about the sclera, the outer membrane of the eye, the choroid, the middle membrane of the eye, and the retina, the inner membrane of the eye, where image is formed. Now, in this video, I will explain you about the aqueous chamber or aqueous humor or vitreous humor. So these two are the basically they are the fluid which is filled in the chamber. So here you can see on the page number 141 two chambers in our eye. Two chambers are present, aqueous chamber and vitreous chamber. So aqueous is present in front of the, or you can say between the lens and the cornea, in between the lens and the cornea. So as you can see in the diagram also, so I told you that diagrams are very important. So aqueous chamber or humor, you can see it is present in between the lens and the cornea, whereas vitreous present in behind the eyeball. This eyeball, behind the eyeball it is present, and the cavity of vitreous chamber is very high, very large than the aqueous chamber. So these are the difference. Now what is the difference between the fluid and what is the function of the fluid that is filled in both the chambers? So as you can see on the screen, aqueous means watery, so it is a watery fluid, clear watery fluid, or you can say transparent watery fluid. What is the function? It keeps our lens moist and it protects our eye from the physical shock, any physical shock. And second one, it reflects the light also. So these two functions, please mark in your book. These are the functions of the aqueous chamber. In the exam they are asking, sometimes they are asking, putting the questions related to these functions of the aqueous and vitreous. So vitreous, as I told you, it is the larger cavity than aqueous and it is behind the lens. It is filled with the transparent jelly like thicker fluid, and vitreous means glassy, so it is a glassy fluid. Now what are the functions? It also has two functions. It helps in keeping the shape of our eyeball. So it helps in keeping the shape of our eyeball, and it protects the retina and our nerve endings. Nerve endings of the eyes are optical nerve, we know. So remember these functions. Now children, how do we see? So there are four main steps. First one is entry of light rays. So we know that from the light source, when light enters into our eyes through a transparent structure, so all these structures are there: conjunctiva, cornea, aqueous humor, lens, vitreous humor. It passes all these structures, and then second step is focusing of image. So it form a curvature. These light rays form a curvature on the cornea part of our eye, and the lens converges them and form a image on the retina. So the image on the retina is inverted and real. So you can underline. In physics also your teacher explained you about these images, about the curvature of the lens, convex lens, concave lens. So you all are familiar with this. Now next, third one is transmission of nerve impulses from retina to the brain. I told you that every sense organ contains a receptor. So receptors are there. These receptors only generate the nerve impulses and which travel through the receptor. So optic nerve is the receptor for eye, and that receptor reach to the visual area of the cerebrum. Cerebrum, you know, the largest part of our brain, where they give the sensation of sight. So these through the optic nerve, these impulses, these they send signals to the brain, cerebrum part. And the last step, our brain interpretation of by the brain. So our brain read that impulses or message that comes from the optic nerve, and then interpret it, read it in many ways related to the object size, shapes, inverted distance also, and it form a inverted and real image on the, it form a upright image. Okay, and then our brain is able to judge the upright image, even though the image is formed on retina is inverted, but our brain read it in a upright way. So these 4 steps remember. Now what is the accommodation? So I told you that it is this chapter may be given in your physics book also, so please go through that part also from your physics book. So accommodation means viewing object in sharp focus. So our eye has the tendency to see the object clearly, and sharply at any distance. So what is accommodation? So in the third line it is written, so you can mark also, the process of focusing the eye to see object at different distances is called accommodation. So this is the accommodation is a process through which we can see the object clearly, and we can get the information of the object, the distance, the size of the object, and who is based on our focus, where we want to focus. Now it is mainly brought about by the change in the curvature. So our lens, they do the change, they brings the change in the curvature, and making it thinner and fatter. So they can be broad, they can be thin. Based on that, the changes in the elasticity of the lens, we can find out the correct picture of the object. So for the distance vision, underline this line, for the distance vision, the lens become more flattened or thinner. Okay, lens become thin, and for the near vision nearly up to the 6 meter, the lens become rounded, convex, or you can say thicker. So remember these 2 things. Now you can see this one picture is given, nice picture, and clearly they are showing that here you can see lens become more thicker. So you can see the thick lens here for near object, and for far distant object or far object, lens become thin. So you can see the difference between the 2. So this curvature of the lens will change whenever, and this change is brought about by the ciliary muscle. We all know these lens is supported by the ciliary muscles or suspensory muscles. So ciliary muscle contracts, in some cases it contracts. Okay, for near object is contract, and for distant object it relaxed. So what happened in the normal condition, these ciliary muscle is relaxed normally when we are looking the object. So the lens becomes stretched by the suspensory ligaments, and it is a less convex, so we can see the distant object. So when we look the nearby object, the ciliary muscles contract and they pull the ciliary body slightly forward, and this releases the tension or stress on the suspensory ligament muscles and making it loose, and the lens will change the curvature and it become the thicker and rounded or convex. You can see any 3. So one more figure is given, one good figure is given in the right hand side. So you can see everything is labeled here, that for the distant object, figure 11.4 you can see for a distant object and for a near object. For the distant objects, they are clearly writing here, mentioning here that ciliary muscle relaxed and suspensory ligament tight. It is pure label. So lens become when it pulled, it become thin and light, focusing on retina for distant one, and for nearer one, lens ciliary muscle contract, lens get thicker. You can see the change in the shape of the lens, and light focus on the retina, and tension or stress develop in the suspensory and ligament relaxed. So from this diagram only, if you will understand, then you can see the accommodation of light, which is the process through which the eye can see the object at different distances. Now what is the light adaptation and dark adaptation? So children, as you all know, whenever we go into the dark room from light reason, okay, such as cinema hall and all, whenever we go from dark room into the dark room, so we experience difficulty in seeing for a few minutes. Then what will happen, naturally our vision improve after few seconds or minutes. So this improvement is called dark adaptation. So dark adaptation, remember that we are going from bright light or bright area into the darker area. So this change, why it is important? So this reason you should know that it is the regeneration of visual purple or rhodopsin. So for dark adaptation, rhodopsin is very important. So the pigment of the rods, which is present on the rod cells, broken down due to the bright light. So that's why we are unable to see into the dark area or dark room. And what happen, our pupil also dilates, so that it will allow more light to enter into the eyes. So I will show you, figure is also given 11.5, so you can see, same as when a person with dark adaptation from dark room, if we are going out into a bright light or sunlight, under the sunlight, as we all know, at noon time we come out from the cinema hall, so we experience a dazzling effect, okay, aankhein chaundiya jana and such things. So that is called dazzling effect. It remain for a few seconds only, and afterwards what will happen, our vision restored. So here in this picture you can see 11.5, dim light, which is we all know that rod cells is responsible for dim light, and cone cells is responsible for bright light. So what happen in the dim light situation, our pupil dilates, or you can say it widens, okay. So here they are showing this outer part is iris, circular muscle relax and radial muscles contract, this white portion muscles. So iris is there in the center, pupil is there, so pupil dilates. Here in the black and white picture they are showing the shape of the, you can see the difference between the shape of the pupil also. Now then it is written that one can experience the pupil relax by converging one eye. The pupil of the other eye opens as a result of a reflex linking the two eyes. Whereas in the bright light, what will happen? Pupil constrict, and you can see here also in the natural picture also, circular muscle contract and radial muscle relax, just opposite. So here in this book pictures are very nice, so that you can easily understand. So the same thing as I told you, that in what happened in the light adaptation, from the dark room we are coming outside under the sun, so we feel that we are unable to see, and we feel the dazzling like effect for a short period. So that condition is called light adaptation. So what is the light adaptation? It is due to the rod cells. So the visual purpose of the rod is bleached, it destroyed, so it reduced their sensitivity. And the pupil constrict, it gets narrower to reduce the amount of light entering into the eye. So a high amount of light is at that time high amount of light is going in, try to go inside our eyes. So the partial closure of the eyelid we do usually in dazzling light serves as a same purpose. So flashlight also, if somebody is focusing a flashlight, then also we are just feeling such, or we experience such conditions. Now what is the color vision? So remember, this black and white vision is given by the rod cells, which contain the rhodopsin pigment. What is the difference between the two? Here you can see in the dark adaptation, regeneration. Okay, rod cells are regenerated. Okay, and here they are bleached, or you can say they are broked, they are broken, and they reduce the amount. So this is the difference. Now color vision, our eye is having we can see the colors because of the cone cells which is present on the retina and which is stimulated only in the bright light. So in the bright light, even in the moonlight, we are unable to that see the correct color like red, violet, purple flowers, you know, because only the in the moonlight only rod cells are functioning, not the cone cells. Now what are the defects? So there are so many defects. First one is myopia or near or short sightedness. It is a condition in which a person is unable to see the near object clearly. Okay, but distant object or far object they appear blurred. So you should know this condition. So what we should do in this, what is the reason behind it, and what we should do for correcting such defect. So the reason is, first one is the eyeball is lengthened from the back. Okay, eyeball that length increased and lens become too curved. So due to the both of the reason, person is feeling this myopia condition. And how can we correct it? By placing the concave lens, we can correct this defect. So you can see here in this the image is formed in front of the retina. So this line, underline this line, fourth line, in which the image of the distant object is formed in front of the retina. So here you can see image is forming in front of the retina, and we can it is not properly falling on retina at a appropriate point. So by providing the concave lens, we can correct this defect. Now you can see. Now here you can see it is also written that it can be corrected by the diverging lens or concave lens. So underline. And a person those who are having this defect, they have to wear the specs with the power of minus sign. So minus sign power. Now next one is hyperopia. You can see here far or long sighted hyperopia. So it is a condition in which there is a difficulty in seeing the near object, and the image will form behind the retina. So in the figure you can see, first figure, image is forming behind the retina. It is passing, you can see this line, these rays. Now what is the reason? Reason is the shortening of the eyeball and the lens is too flat because of it. So for correction, we should provide a convex lens. You can see this is the convex lens. So with the convex lens, so we can correct this defect of hyperopia. Now you can see the convex lens converging is required to correct this defect, and the power is in the plus sign. So you should remember that we should provide the glasses which is used in the power plus sign. Now next one is astigmatism. Astigmatism is a condition, children, in which some part of the object can be seen in focus while others blurred. So half of the object we will see the clear and half blurred. Okay, blurred, you know, dhundla. It arises due to the uneven curvature of the cornea. So it is a defect of the cornea when cornea is become uneven. So and it can be corrected by wearing the cylindrical lenses. So you should know the reason, disease, and correction. Now next one is presbyopia. Presbyopia is a condition where lens loses its flexibility. So it usually occurs in the older people, as you can see, and it is corrected by the convex lens. So these three things are very important, that older people, they are not able to see the near object clearly, and because their lenses loses the flexibility, and it will not bend, it will not show the proper curvature, and with the convex lens we can correct this defect up to a certain extent. So one activity is there in this, if a person is, how we can judge, so through this picture you can see, if you suffer from astigmatism, so you, with one eye, shut one eye and look at the picture, this picture, and if all the lines equally, if you are able to dark, you can see these are the dark lines. So if you are able to see these dark lines as it is, then it's okay, then it's good, it is a normal vision. Otherwise, if lighter images, if you are seeing, then it can be a condition of astigmatism. Okay, so I have also done this, I have done, so you, for fun or for checking whether you astigmatism condition is there or not, are you normal or not, so you can perform this activity. Then next one is cataract. Fifth point is cataract. So cataract is a condition in which the lens turn opaque. Okay, lens turn opaque and vision is cut down even to blindness. So people can be totally blind, and it can be corrected by the surgically, by removing the lens, and highly convex lens, the specs that is made up of highly convex lens people can wear. And even in some new techniques, a doctor or surgeon, they are providing the small plastic lens which is imparted behind or in front of the iris. So plastic lens surgeon can provide, even surgically they can remove the lens and they can change the lens. Next one is night blindness. So children, you know that night blindness is a condition which is, it is a deficiency disease which is occurred due to the deficiency of vitamin A. From the lower classes you have know. So what happen in this condition? In this condition, a person feels difficulty in seeing in a dim light, which is due to the, and we all know that dim light is due to the rhodopsin, rod cells. So in this case, rod cells or this visual purple pigment is not, or rhodopsin is not working, or it is not forming in our eyes. So due to the non formation of these rhodopsin pigment, people suffer from this night blindness. So only rods, we all know that only rod function in dim light, and in the absence of pigment they cannot function. So it will cause the deficiency of vitamin A. So why? Because vitamin A is very important for the synthesis of this pigment, rhodopsin, or we can say visual purple, anything. So this is the condition, people are unable to see in the dim light during night time. Now color blindness. So in this color blindness, in the next seventh condition, we can see the people are having, people is not able to, by birth it is a genetic disease, okay, and people or a child is not able to that focus or judge in just knowing the correct color. So they are the person is having that confusion between the red, which is a red color, which is a green color. So it is a genetic defect, and it mostly occurs in the males than in the females. So it rarely occurs in the females, but it occurs in the males. So it is a color blindness. So how can you find out whether you are color blindness or not? So there is a, you can see there is a these are cards are there. So in this card numbers are written, like I can read this number nicely, thank God. So if you are unable to read the number that is inside the card, 1 2 3 card, then it means you are not color blind. But if you are unable to read, if you can see there are no numbers, like fourth we can see there are no numbers, okay. So if you are if you are unable to read the 1 2 3 numbers, then it means you are color blind. So this is a test. Japan made these tests, these cards, and those who are just and whenever we go for making driving license and all, so they are showing us, they are just they are officers, they are showing us the card and they are saying that read this, because they want to check whether we are color blindness or not. Now corneal opacities. So in this what happened, the some patients cornea get scarred or turned opaque, okay, white and non-functional, and such defect can be bring the minor irritation to the vision problem and even blindness also. So in this case the defective cornea can be removed by surgically, okay. So the cornea from any donor can be replaced surgically, can be removed and placed into the patient which is having this corneal opacities condition. Now next one is squint. Squint eyes means cross eye, okay. You have seen, maybe you have seen one person, when their vision is cross eye, okay. Whenever we look them, we can see that they are not looking straight, okay, their eyes are not straight. So in this case of cross eye, what will happen, it can be a condition, it will bring a double vision, that is called diplopia, and through the surgical and suitable exercise only we can correct this cross eye defect which is called squint. Okay, so remember there are 9 diseases and you should know the how it happens, how to correct it, that is very important. Then children, we are having the stereoscopic binocular vision. So as you know, we come from our ancestors, our apes, monkeys and humans also. So apes, monkeys and humans also, we perceive a object depth, okay. We have our brain can judge the signal, correct signal goes into our eyes of object which is placed at different distances. So in that case children, that our brain can easily focus, our eyes can easily focus, we have the two eyes, both the eyes, okay. So the image that is formed on our retina is, it is a kind of, or brain, it is a kind of overlapping image which gives 3-dimensional effect. So in our brain, that image is formed or the brain interpret the 3-dimensional effect or image of the object. So we can easily decide or judge, or our brain can easily decide or see the correct size, the correct distance, the color, the correct color, the shape, or the correct person. So our brain is having this overlapping condition, so our brain can do. Now this is the activity, so this you read it and you do it by one eye, by both the eyes you can do. So you can easily find out, read by yourself, this stereoscopic binocular. Now next is the same one activity is also given. Thank you children, have a nice day.